that we involve teachers. And we put a teachers project together. So we want to hear from them. Because over the course of decades, we have piled on unnecessary requirements for teachers that keep them out of the classroom, out of in front of these children, just to fulfill some bureaucratic mission. Wanted to be able to roll those things back, and so we ran a program called Let the Teachers Teach. Many of the legislators are involved in it, and it's something that is going to be ongoing. And then in March of this year, we've got a constitutional amendment that's coming to the ballot that we make sure that you all go out there. It is a great amendment. It reduces the words of the Constitution, which I like, but more importantly, what they're going to like is it finally, once and for all, gives teachers a permanent pay raise. And then I'll tell you this because I'm going to be announcing him real shortly, but Kate Brumley, and I just got a notice. Kate, I don't know if you know this, but I just got an alert that there's a story that says reading and math scores for struggling students, walk closer, in the country have decreased except for one place, Louisiana. And I want to tell you, if you read the article, it talks a lot about the pandemic. I don't want to get this thing out. There we go. About the pandemic and maybe the effects that it had on kids and students in the classroom. But I'm going to tell you something. I think one of the most important bills that we passed last session, which really aids them, is no cell phones in classrooms. Because now we can give them a book. Is that me or you? Now we can give them a book rather than something that is constantly taking their attention away from the things that matter the most. So look, what are we here today to do? We're here today to celebrate, but the celebration is going to be quick because we still got a lot of work to do. We are going to announce that the state of Louisiana has greatly improved in a national report card. This national report card has been the gold standard around the nation as a metric for determining how much improvement or where states rank in educating their young men and women. It is the only nationally representative assessment of student achievement in the nation. And the data that's being released today is from 2024. And it measures math scores and reading proficiency and amongst 4th and 8th grade students. How many of y'all in 4th grade?
Yeah, I am.
You are? That's right. Yeah, I like that. And so that's what this scorecard does. And let me tell you this: we are moving from 43rd. This is my announcement today. That the national report card, the new report card, is 32. Unbelievable. Look, it's unbelievable. And I'll tell you, what's interesting about this is that means we've moved my math, right? 43, 30, that's 11, right? 11 points. See how I did my math, my flashcards. You still got flashcards? Bring that back. But I'm going to tell you, that ranking, the continual progress that this state is making in those rankings are a testament to the Bessie board members that are behind us, to Kate Brumley that's behind us, to the legislature, and the teachers that are here today as well. Because we all know it takes everyone recognizing that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same results, that's insanity, and that doesn't work, and it doesn't do them any good. And so, with that, I would like to turn this podium over to Kate Brumley, so he can, which he needs to do, he can sit here and actually brag on himself, because he needs to. But I think that the ultimate message out there for parents is that if we stay the course, and look, change is not easy. The only person I say that likes that likes change is a baby with a wet diaper. You know, they normally cry when they got a wet one and you got to change it. But other than that, you see that? He knows. See, I mean, you can learn so much from these folks. But I'm going to tell you, if we stay the course, and we are not afraid that when you make change, sometimes you come up short. That's okay. But as long as you're moving towards success, any amount of setbacks or any amount of failure is a step to success. So to you all, I want you to know that today is a great day for y'all. They've got a lot of homework to do before you can go to the summer, right? But we're making our way. Then we got Mardi Gras, then we get Easter eggs, then we're going to be out for the summer, right? Are y'all ready for that? But remember this, that the more you read, the more you learn to add and subtract, you will do so much better with that. So with that, Kate, come on and brag on yourself.
Thank you, Governor. And so you should know, Governor, that we sent flashcards, old school flashcards, to every elementary classroom in the state of Louisiana last year. My team was looking at me a little crazy when I was asking them to do that, but we sent them out anyway. Look, today's release of the nation's report card affirms the smart and hard work that can make a big difference. It further suggests that willing and capable people have the power to positively change systems. Before diving into the report card specifics, I'd like to extend my very first thank you. So I want you to leave here knowing my very first thank you goes to the teachers of the great state of Louisiana. We need to let teachers teach. We also need to compensate them professionally and fairly, and I hope in March that we see some progress on that front. Look, our teachers have endured a global pandemic, multiple named storms, ice storms, social unrest, terrorism, and they have persevered through all of those things in the state that has been long challenged educationally. They've risen to the occasion with their commitment to best practices. Further, to school and system leaders, those individuals who are leading schools every day or leading systems every day, and those boards governing those systems, thank you for absorbing the shifts that we've made over the last 5 years to drastically change the educational system in the state of Louisiana. Please know that your work is paying off. Today, as the governor shared, we celebrate historic progress. Our advancement isn't simply because other states fail. It's because Louisiana students demonstrated progress in two foundational areas, reading and math. Education has been overcomplicated for too long, and we've tried to narrow the scope and the focus in the state of Louisiana on the basic foundational tenets of a quality education. You see, I believe every child deserves a quality education. You know, the buildings, the programs, the teachers, they don't have to be fancy. They don't. But they have to teach kids to read. They have to teach kids to do math. They have to teach kids to understand and appreciate the country where we live. Never has our state ranked higher. Never has our state ranked higher in fourth grade reading. But also, never has our state ranked higher in fourth grade math, or eighth grade reading, or eighth grade math. Much less, we've never had a national ranking overall this high. But I want to share with you a few subplots in the data that I think are worth mentioning. You know, many of you have heard me say over and over again, you've probably grown tired of it, during the last NAEP cycle on the last nation's report card, Louisiana led the country in fourth grade reading growth. And I said that for 2 years. But guess what? We've done it again. And for the second consecutive cycle, Louisiana fourth graders have led the country in fourth grade reading growth. So good job to our fourth graders. Now, we've done that with a commitment to the science of reading, with a phonics-based approach, with rich text. We've done that with high-dosage tutoring that has been so important to the work. We've done it with our reforms, such as our screeners and our interventions that have paid off. So you've also heard me, if you've heard me give a speech in the public when I talk so much about reading, you also hear me say, you know what, math is getting jealous. And so last year we started working on math. We sent the flashcards to everyone as a symbol that we need to return to the foundational elements of teaching children how to do math. So we're in the top 5 nationally for math growth in fourth grade. So I can announce that to you today as well. But Legislators, I'm going to need some help. Bessie members, I'm going to need some help, because if we're only in the top 5, we're not number 1, so we're slacking a little bit. We have to do better. So we have plans there: teacher training, screeners again, interventions, high-dosage tutoring to drive those math scores up. I want to share with you, students with disabilities in the state of Louisiana have outperformed the nation, and they are higher rate for students with the same disabilities across the entire country, and we're so very proud of that. Unfortunately, too many of our families in the state of Louisiana face economic hardship, and I know our governor and our legislature are working hard to correct those issues, but right now I can also announce to you that Louisiana students who have faced economic hardship also outperform the national average, and so that is worth celebrating as well. And Louisiana is one of only 2 states in the country where 4th graders have exceeded their pre-pandemic levels in both reading and math. So Governor Landry, I'd like to thank you for your commitment to making education reform possible in the state of Louisiana. Thank you for your support. Also, you like to stir things up a little bit like I do from time to time, and that helps with this type of progress that we're trying to make. It's also, as I share frequently, a blessing to have so much alignment between a governor, a legislature, a state board of education like Bessie, who are here with us today, many of the members. Some of the members could not be here because of another commitment that they have around workforce development. But we have so much alignment between the governor's office, the legislature, this Bessie, our agency in the field to continue to move this forward. Look, I think with that alignment, we may finally put to bed the soft bigotry of low expectations in the state of Louisiana for our students. We might finally do that. I would also like to personally thank those community members, stakeholders, friends in the room today, you know who you are, for the commitment that you have made and the support that you have given so that we can make the changes in the state of Louisiana that we have made and that we need to continue to make. Policymakers, whether legislative or Bessie, I applaud your student-centered leadership. I do. And I appreciate you standing alongside me to change the way education operates in the state of Louisiana. From differentiated compensation to make sure that we're paying teachers based on the market and cutting vacancies, to high-dosage tutoring to give students a little extra help if they need it, to launching the country's most responsive, strongest accountability system, to allowing me to move students from F-rated schools to higher performing seats. You've been there. Now, sometimes you've had a lot to say as we've made it through that progress, but you've been there with us the whole way, and so legislators, Bessie, I just want to say thank you for all of your support, and that deserves a round of applause, too. Look, the work in the educational system in the state of Louisiana is not done. Whether you're referencing K-12 or whether you're referencing higher education in the state of Louisiana, we can recognize progress, but also realize that there is a new way forward. We're writing a new story in the state of Louisiana. But unfortunately today, too many kids in the state can't read on level, can't do math on level, are in a school that's failing them, and those are things that we have to change. We have to make sure that every kid has access to a high-quality teacher. We need to make sure that students aren't chronically absent and are in school every single day. Being passive will not change these things. We have to be assertive. And my personal belief is that we have to be brave. We have to go back to the basics. We have to redesign systems. We have to accelerate parental rights. We have to value our educators, and we have to expand educational freedom across the entire state of Louisiana. There is not a simple, singular initiative to continuous improvement. It's being in the habit of making good decisions every day that get better results. And improvement, as the governor mentioned, isn't always linear. There are hills and there are valleys on the course to the peak. So I work with the best people. I work with the absolute best people at the Louisiana Department of Education. We have an amazing team, and we don't operate on hope alone. We don't. We plan, we strategize, we're intentional, and our actions and our leadership are designed to lift the state of Louisiana every single day. So I just want to say thank you to my team at the Louisiana Department of Education. I admire you, I appreciate you, and sometimes you may appreciate me, sometimes not, but I thank you so much. And so would you all give my team a round of applause? So look, today is a moment to celebrate. We have a lot of good progress. We have a lot of opportunity to pat each other on the back, and we need to do that for about 10 minutes, okay? And then we've got to get back to work. You've got to get back to work. And we have more work to do because we can't be satisfied with where we are. You know, there's so much potential left on the field that we can go grab. And so I'm just honored to be able to do this work with all of you. Today is your day. You have all played such an important part in this, and it's just truly an honor to be here with all of you today. And so at this point, the governor, myself, Superintendent Cole, we're happy to take any questions that you may have.
Yeah, and while y'all think about that real quick, let me just say a couple of more things in closing. You know, I called Lane out. Eddie Rasponi was not able to make it today. He's another one. This parish in this area is very lucky to have two men who are philanthropical in the use of their money for these kids. And I think that, and I see Dr. Schumacher's here as well from Lafayette. I mean, we have people around the state who actually go out there and work to put their money where their mouth is, to be able to, Rebecca Bono's here, she's on the LSU Board of Supervisors, now we put on there for a reason, to fix our higher ed. But again, I think that the state right now, as Dr. Brumley said earlier, we've got a great team. Everyone seems to be working together. The more we stay working together, and it doesn't mean we won't have our differences. If we didn't have our differences, we wouldn't be able to make any progress. And then finally, I'll just say this. Kate, I am extremely excited to know that you're going back to the basics and going back to using foundational things, because I think as technology has moved so fast, so quickly, we believe that it was the panacea to all of our woes. And at the end of the day, when you have something physical in your hand, okay, there is a psychological connection between having something physically in your hand or having it digitally. It's the same thing with writing. It's the same thing with a book. I tell my son that all the time. There's a difference between reading it electronically and reading it physically, because humans by very nature use all of their senses. And so I can tell you, that is the way, when we use technology in a way that marries itself to some of the foundational things that used to work when they used to put all these kids in one classroom. They used to put all of them in all of the different grades. And we built the greatest country in the world. We had an industrial revolution. We had a golden era. I mean, this country has consistently improved itself because of the way that we've educated kids. And we've learned. We've made some mistakes in the past. There's been some shortcomings, but we can build on those. And so today's a great day. And with that, I will ask the press. I'm hoping you don't have any questions. We kind of covered it all, right? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Obviously, going 40 to 30 seconds, very impressive progress over the last, what was that, the last year?
2 years.
Two. They graded every 2 years. They graded every 2 years.
So how do you continue that momentum? Because, 30 seconds, that's very impressive, but you still got pretty good possibility. You have to run to the
What? Right here. You see this group right here? Bessie, the legislature, these teachers. I think that the more we involve all of them, and the more that we just, one of the things we have a tendency to do is that when we do something big, right, we have a tendency to think that that's going to just fix it. But it isn't the big things that fix things, it's the little things. And so we have to go back and continue to fine-tune the things that we have done, just like we did on educational start, because on the ESAs we started with 2 different groups. We phased it in to make sure that we could budget it correctly. We want to be able to continue to work with the teachers, to let the teachers teach. I think that one of the things he hit in Brave was empowering parents more, creating more discipline in the classrooms, all things that, again, I think one of the biggest things we do from a discipline start is getting those phones out of the classroom. I think has helped tremendously. We've heard it from parents. I know they don't like it, but it's okay. It's okay. Look, it's okay. They will appreciate it when they are advancing, when their scores, when that scorecard that we get right here goes from 32 to 22 to 22 to 12, and then to 1. So, all right. Yes, ma'am.
President's order to temporarily freeze all federal grant funding has created a lot of confusion and concern, including among Louisiana schools and childcare providers that rely on this funding. What impact do you think the freeze could have on Louisiana education and childcare programs?
Oh, yeah, you think, yeah, it caused a bit of upheaval there yesterday. Look, they're moving. God bless President Trump. He moves real fast. And I can overall, I think that many, and I spoke to the Senate President yesterday, I spoke to the Speaker of the House, I spoke to the Treasurer, all of us were on the phone, collectively tomorrow trying to get our hands around. I called in at the White House, talked to them. Look, I think that what they're trying to do is trying to streamline government, okay? They're trying to make sure that the money gets to them. That has not happened in this country decade after decade. We've spent more, and nothing has gone to them. Nothing has gone to them. And so what they're trying to do is actually, quite frankly, I say this all the time, they're copying us, right? I mean, we had a fiscal responsibility project when I was AG. We're doing that now at the state level. We did a let the teachers teach. This component of what they were trying to do and put the pause on these is to try to look at the programs and make sure they're not duplicative, they're not onerous, they're not obstructive. And so that's what I think the White House is doing. Here's what I tell you. We are in great shape. Whatever disruptions they have, we believe we can handle whatever shocks they are, and I think they're just temporary. And I put out a statement to that effect yesterday. So I'll just don't worry about what goes on in Washington. It'll make you crazy. Just worry about what goes on here in Louisiana, and we'll take care of the rest. Oh, you got to go. All right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
What do you think education and schools will be in 5 years?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I'll tell you this, it's going to depend on you too. Because here's what's important. This scorecard that we got is a product of these teachers and the information that they're giving y'all. But at the end of the day, that score is your score. That is how well you are doing. So if you want to know how well, you call me in 5 years and me and you will talk, and I'll tell you how well we're going to do based upon how well you're doing in school. How about that? All right, with that, we really do appreciate today is a great day to celebrate in education. It's a beautiful day as well, after we had a magical snow day, right, huh? I talked to him about the snow. It was wonderful. It's only going to come around about once every 60 years, hopefully. But we got some beautiful weather today. We'll enjoy the day, and we'll keep working. Thank you so very much.
Look, as we close, I just want to take a moment to thank the East Baton Rouge Parish School System, Superintendent Cole, the board members from EBR for hosting us today. You guys have been fantastic in helping us plan. Also, Principal Williams with making your school available. So thank you so much. Look, this is your day. Now it's time to go back to work. Thanks.